Hey, did you know that dogs have long been used by drug smugglers to get drugs into areas where they normally wouldn't be able to? That's right. Dogs have been helping smugglers do this for a long time. There's some cool historic documentaries you can watch about this, but this has been going on for quite a long time. And as you can read right here in this little summary, this takes advantage of the animal's ability to evade detection and to not provide information if caught. So it's like evading detection is a big part of this, especially in our modern dog worshiping society. Because right now, when people see a dog, they just think like, "Oh, dogs are better than humans, precious puppy." They don't think about, like, for example, the urine or the feces or the dander that gets in your throat and eyes. So of course they're not going to think about, hmm, could that car that's in my state with out of state plates, full of a bunch of dogs from Texas, could that be bringing fentanyl in? No. So these dogs in our modern society provide a perfect opportunity. And something else that's going on with dog culture is this animal sedative right here. So this animal sedative called medetomidine is used to sedate pets, and so but it's being found mixed with fentanyl, and because of this, the cure for fentanyl, the thing that helps people not have a stroke or a seizure, it doesn't work. So there's a reversing drug for overdoses called naloxone, but it doesn't work when people have this mixed in. So think about that. This is a veterinary drug, so it's going to be easier to get. It's not going to be noticed as much because, yes, this drug is a controlled drug, but it's for animals. It's for dogs that have surgeries. That's mainly where this is used. So the more dogs, the more veterinarian offices that are located close to drug smugglers are people that want to make more profit off of the drugs they're selling to you. This stuff right here that I have blue highlighted, it's going to be more prevalent and easier for them to get. So this culture of keeping dogs alive longer and giving them more and more surgeries means that this drug right here is going to be more available to the drug smugglers and drug sellers and dealers and the end users too that are selling it, like in their local communities. Here's a little summary of the drug I'm talking about. I believe it's called medetomidine, but it is commonly used in veterinary medicine as a sedative for surgical procedures for dogs. So this stuff is, literally everywhere. If there's a veterinary office, dog shelter, dog rescue, stuff like that, this stuff is going to be in warehouses. It's going to be getting shipped, and it's going to be something that these drug sellers can get a hold of and save money and work under the radar. So also dog food. So they use dog food to sneak in drugs. So of course they're going to do that because most people are dog worshippers. They see a bag of dog food with a picture of the dog and he's living his best life. Oh, that's going to be way less suspicious than other stuff. And so here's some stories right here. They've caught some of these people, but that whatever was caught, there's probably 10 more. Like they even admitted in these articles, they say the things that they seize are always just the tip of the iceberg because it shows up 100-fold and tenfold out in the society. Yeah, and here's one right here: meth hidden in this one in dog food packages. So more dogs equals more dog food, which is more perfect opportunity for drug smugglers. So another thing going on in our country, like they say fentanyl comes into Texas, but then that fentanyl goes out to other states. Like, how does it get there? Well, I don't have any stories that I found yet, but it all makes sense because check it out. Here's one of the rescues in Texas. The common type of van they use is a E350. They brag about it. They use these type of vans, these big vans, F-350s too, but these types of big vans are the ones that start off right here in Texas, and then they go Oregon, California, with a bunch of sick rescue dogs. I mean, just look at the numbers that they claim: 30 to 35 dogs weekly all over the country. So a lot of these dogs come from Texas and go to Oregon. So here's a summary of some research on the E350 vans. Yup, these are a preferred van of drug smugglers. So why would we have all these E350 vans carrying sick dogs from Texas to Oregon and other places? Why would they use dogs for this? Like, for example, Texas is full of stray dogs. So many stray dogs causing so many problems, yet they refuse to do anything about it. It's like a profit center for all these tax shelter organizations. Okay, so think about that. You got the E350 vans. The drug smugglers realize this is a perfect opportunity. And how can this all work? Well, you know that everybody thinks drug sniffing dogs are like the best thing ever, right? Bullshit. They're just a reactive force. So check this out. If there's a bunch of dogs in the car or the plane or the train, that's going to screw up the sniffer dogs. So, where do you think that these sniffer dogs find the drugs? It's at the end user. You know, a huge supply of fentanyl comes into somebody's state, and then they pull over like a busted up old Camry car with Billy Bob in there, and he's trying to sell some drugs or whatever, and then he gets busted, and then the police look good. But by and large, drugs come in huge quantities. These drug smugglers and drug dealers, you know, they're making profit. So yeah, the presence of dogs or animals creates distractions that can confuse drug sniffing dogs. So of course they're going to utilize vehicles that have dogs in them. And it's not just those vans. The way that they transport those dogs from state to state, it involves many different people. So for example, here's a little summary of that. But dog rescues transport dogs through organized transport service. It can include volunteer drivers and transport companies. They involve multiple legs. You know, so Jojo in one state, and then Sally in the next state, and then Frederick and his dog that he drives around with. Those dogs are going to be in different vehicles, all vehicles that are full of dogs. So these drug smugglers could easily take advantage of this, and historically they've used dogs to do this before. And this is not something that I just made up. Look at this story right here. Dogs used as a mule to smuggle heroin. Yep. Look at this story right here. Liquid meth worth 1.8 million found in dog shampoo bottles at LAX. So of course dog shampoo bottles are going to get kind of like, free legitimacy, because the people are going to see that and they're going to be like, oh my god, yes. Yes, the puppy, he needs a bath. We love our puppers, they're better than humans. Oh, a nice mint lavender soap for my pupper. Oh, yay. Yeah, and you guys know if they found this shampoo right here, there was more. And because that's the way the drug smugglers work too. They let people get caught sacrificially so they can get more stuff across. And so the presence of dogs just creates this perfect opportunity. Dog food, dog shampoo, dogs coming in across the Mexican border. A lot of dogs come in across the Mexican border, and guess what? They can easily smuggle in drugs with those dogs, because these sucker Americans are so brainwashed about dogs that they'll give a dog a free ride anywhere. And maybe your personal dog isn't the problem, but this overall attitude of dogs being this perfect thing, and any dog product being a perfect thing, it just creates a perfect storm of opportunity for drug smugglers. For Americans taking these dogs from Mexico, a lot of people think this is super cool. But yeah, we get a lot of these dogs from Mexico. So like people out there that have a certain opinion about the border being closed or opened, they can go get themselves one of these rescue dogs, and they can be like, look at me, I support open borders, I got one of these doggies. And how do you think those dogs come across the border? How do you think some of that drugs are coming across. There's no way that they're not utilizing these dogs to bring in more drugs. So there you go. I hope you take some time to look at some of this stuff yourself. But historically, dogs have been used for smuggling, and our current dog culture creates a perfect opportunity. And it's already happened many times, and I'm sure a lot of it that is out there has not been reported. But here's one little documentary you can watch. I'll put this in the description. But dogs, as drug detection dogs, everybody thinks those dogs are so great. Well, if dogs are man's best friend, why are they facilitating all of this drug smuggling? Because they're not man's best friend. And all these drug sniffing dogs, the point is moot if all these other dogs are facilitating smugglers to bring in deadly drugs into our country and states and our human bodies. See you guys later.